Good day, sir. I'm Fido Zito. I'm going to report the moral agent. A moral agent is a being capable of acting with reference to right and wrong. Moral agency is an individual's ability to make moral judgments based on some notion of right and wrong and to be held accountable for these actions. Most philosophers suggest only rational beings who can reason and form self-interested judgments are capable of being moral agents. Some suggest that those with limited rationality, for example, people who are mildly mentally disabled and infants also have some basic moral capabilities. Ang moral agency, isang kakayahan ng isang individual na mag-isip at gumawa ng tama at mali at alam niya ang actions at consequences ng kanyang ginawa. Alam niya ang outcomes, tama at mali. Example, isang bata na nagpabahagi ng kanyang laruan sa ibang bata. Ang bata ay nagpapakita ng moral na pag-unawa sa pamagitan ng pagbabahagi at pagiging mapagbigay. Isang tao na tumutulong sa isang matanda na tumawid sa kalsada, ang tao ay nagpapakita ng moral na pag-unawa sa pamamagitan ng pagiging mapagmalasakit at pagtulong sa iba. Isang magulang na nagtuturo sa kanyang anak na maging mabait at matulungin, ang magulang ay nagpapakita ng moral na pag-unawa sa pamamagitan ng pagtuturo ng mga halaga at pagpapaunlad ng moralidad ng kanyang anak. The distinction between moral agency and eligibility for moral consideration. Many philosophers such as Kant view morality as a transaction among rational parties. Among moral agents for this reason, they would they would exclude other animals from moral considerations. Others, as utilitarian philosophers like Jeremy Bentham and Peter Singer, have argued that the key to inclusion in the moral community is not rationality. Distinction distinction between moral agency and eligibility for moral considerations. Examples, moral agency, ang isang tao nagpapasya kung magnanakaw o hindi ay isang moral agent, mayroon siyang kakayahang mag-isip tungkol sa tama at mali at pagpasya kung ano ang kanyang gagawin. Karapatan sa moral consideration, ang isang aso na nakakaramdam ng sakit kapag siya ay sinasaktan ay may karapatan sa moral na pagsaalang-alang kahit na hindi siya makatwid, mayroon siyang interes na hindi masaktan. Sa madaling salita, moral agency ay ang kakayahan na mag-isip at kumilos batay sa tama at mali. Karapatan sa moral consideration ay ang karapatan na hindi masaktan o magkaroon ng interes sa hindi isinaalang-alang. Ang mga hayop ay maaaring walang moral agency, ngunit mayroon silang karapatan na morals na consideration dahil nakakaramdam sila ng sakit at may mga interes. That's all, sir. Thank you.
What is an artificial moral agent? The term artificial moral agent has taken on two usages. The first is debate as to whether or not it's possible for artificial system to be moral agent. Second, usage stems from efforts to construct machine with ethically significant behavior. So, ibig sabihin dito, artificial moral agent make decision based on ethical or moral principles, similar to how humans choose right from wrong.
So good morning everyone, my name is Haifa Edabi and today we are going to tackle about cultures shape moral behavior. So cultures is derived from the Latin word cultus, which means care. So a care and attention provided to a human person as she grows into a mature person. So according to Alan G. Johnson, culture is a system of symbols, ideas, forms, and experience. So, and materials, product associated with the social system. So, when we say symbol, these are the things that represent ideas or concepts. For example, is the flag symbolizes the country and its value. So, when we say idea naman, this is the belief and thoughts that people share or that shape how people view life and interact with each other. So when we say experience, this refers to the things when people go through their lives like tradition, celebration, and rituals. So the mga experience is help define their identity. Then the materials products, so these are the physical items created by the people like art, tools, and technology. So they are reflect the cultures and value of a society. And cultures is a dynamic medium thought to which societies create a collective ways of life reflected in such things as belief, values, music, literacy, art, dance, science, religion, rituals, technology, and others. So next, what are those cultures that influence the person's moral behavior? So there are two. Number one is the material cultures that this is the refers to the concrete and tangible things that man creates and uses. When we say tangible, this is easily seen or able to touch or felt. So for example, dito is yung mga tools, weapons, clothing, books, machine, artifact, relics, and fossils, and etc. Then, the number two is the non-material culture. So this refers to things or intangible object which the person uses. So when we say naman is intangible, this is not able to touch. So for example, is the law, lifestyle, teaching ideas, custom, moral behavior, um, values, language, and instruction, and etc. So these are the providers of moral behavior in the culture: the family, the school, the church, the church, and the government. So when we say the family, this is being the smallest unit of society, plays a very important role in the development of personality and values of formation and children. So, for example, is yung mga magulang is tinuturuan nila ng tamang asal or respeto yung kanilang mga anak. And then, the school, these are help perceive, perpetuate, modify, and integrate the condition of human life by promoting teaching and learning. So, sa school naman is, yung mga guro ay tinuturuan nila yung mga, ng mga aral yung mga estudyante nila tungkol sa moralidad and tamang asal. So, next is the church. So, it also plays a very significant role in lives of the members. So, the church promotes interaction among its members in order to foster unity and group solidarity. So, dito naman sa church, so, yung mga tinuturo ng mga sa simbahan is yung mga aral is natuturo yun ng kabutihan sa pagmamahal sa kapwa. Then, we have the government. The government exists from the benefits of people, promotes economic and socio-cultural well-being of the people. So, government. So, yung mga programa ng gobyerno is nagtataguyod sila ng edukasyon at sa kalusugan para sa lahat. And then, we have also the workplace. So, in this contemporary world, high technology and computerization has important role in the conduct of employees and workers in the workplace. So, proceed tayo sa Filipino understanding of right and wrong. So, Filipinos understand that values, moral ethics are inspiredly connected and associated with morals are the fundamental beliefs established from the value system of how we should act in a certain condition. Values are what we learn from the childhood, the behavior from the parents, and the environment. So, next, Filipinos use values, moral, and ethics as rules to guide their dealings with others, with their friends and family and business profession. And the last is the adults and elders use value and moral as model as children because children keep an eye on their parents and the adults as they progress their own wisdom.
My name is Chris Balbi Francisco. So next, cultural relativisms. To avoid judging the cultural practices of groups that are different to yours, we can use the cultural approach. Cultural relativism is the idea that a person believes, values, and practices should be understood based on the person's own culture rather than being judged against the criteria for another culture. Strength and weaknesses of cultural relativism. People change. Culture change. Humanity is constantly evolve, developing and addicting. When cultural relativism is implemented, then the ability to evolve and adapt encouraged because the definition of ethical and moral right and wrong can change as people change. Ibig sabihin, cultural relativism promote tolerance, respect diversity, reduce bias, and support peaceful living. We have 9 strengths of cultural relativism. First, it is a system which promotes cooperation. For the most part, humanity is strong because of differences we all have. Every individual has different perspective that is based on upbringing, experiences, and personal thoughts. Ibig sabihin, it is encouraged to understand different culture, helping people work together peacefully despite differences. 2. It creates a society where equality is possible. In any society, people rise by climbing on top of other people. Ibig sabihin, by valuing all culture equality, cultural relativism support fairness and reduce discrimination. 3. People can pursue a genuine interest. In modern society, people are funneled toward certain career option because of their circumstances. Then, ibig sabihin dito, individuals are free to explore their own cultural beliefs and practices without pressure to compare to others. 4. Respect and encourage in a system of cultural relativism. People come from different cultures. So, ibig sabihin, it teaches people to respect cultural differences, fostering tolerance and acceptance.
My name is Nada Bihatama and let's proceed sa number 5. It preserves human cultures. Humanity is a very diverse set of thoughts, traditions, ideas, and practices. So, imagine a world if everyone has to wear the same clothes and eat the same food. So that's what happens when we force everyone to follow the same rules. But cultural relativism says, let's celebrate the differences. It helps protect unique traditions and ways of life, like the Native American tribes who were forced to change their ways. And number 6 is cultural relativism creates a society without judgment. People are so trained to judge others in today's world that they don't even give it a second thought. So dito, cultural relativism says, don't judge others based on your own standards. Focus on your own life and let others live theirs. So it's like having your own little world where you make the rules. You don't have to worry about what other people think because they have their own little world too. So to avoid judgment in society, instead of worrying about others, you only worry about yourself. And number 7 is moral relativism can be excluded from cultural relativism. Each culture can be treated as an individual under the theory of cultural relativism. So for example, in some cultures, it's considered rude to eat with your left hand. But sa ibang culture, it's perfectly acceptable. Cultural relativism says we should understand why each culture has this custom without judging whether one is right or wrong. So the explanation here is we're focusing on the custom itself, using the left hand and not judging its morality, whether it's good or bad. Number 8 is we can create personal moral codes based on societal standards with ease. To determine if a decision would be right or wrong, cultural relativism allows individuals to consult with the standards of their society or culture. Each culture has its own set of rules, para siyang compass that helps people know what's right and wrong. Cultural relativism says, follow your own culture's compass. Kung ano yung rules ng culture mo, yun yung susundin mo. And number 9 is it stops cultural conditioning. People tend to adapt their attitudes, thoughts, and beliefs to the people they are with on a regular basis. So dito, it's easy to just go along with what everyone else does. But sometimes that means losing your own voice. Cultural relativism encourages us to think for ourselves and develop our own opinions, even if they're different from everyone else.
So good day, sir. I'm Hamraina Pituruha. My topic is about weakness cultural relativism. So first is it creates a system that is fueled by personal bias. Every society has a certain natural bias to it because of how humanity operates. So, ang system daw ay naiimpluwensyahan ng mga personal na biases in shaping their decisions and outcomes na hindi fair based on subjective view rather than facts. And this can lead to unfairness, discrimination, dahil ang system ay nag-reflects at nagpapatibay to the subjective viewpoints of those who create or nakaka-impluwensyahan dito. So number 2, it would create chaos. So people can follow their own moral code because there is no wrong or right would be allowed to pursue any life they prepared under the theory of cultural relativism. So, cultural relativism says bawat kultura may sarili silang moral values, kaya walang universal na right or wrong. Pero it can layered kasi kung lahat sila susunod lang sa sarili nilang paniniwala, baka ma-justify ang masasamang gawain dahil mahirap din labanan yung mga injustices tulad ng paglabag sa human rights, and since no external moral framework can be used to judge them. So number 3, it is an idea that is based on the perfection of humanity. Many people strive to do good every day. Most want to see everyone have the chance to pursue happiness in some way. So, many people strive to do good and gusto nilang mabigyan ng pagkakataon to pursue the happiness. Pero minsan, dahil sa cultural relativism, it can make it difficult to promote fairness and universal well-being. So number 4, it could promote a lack of diversity. Cultural relativism promotes an individualistic point of view. Although it seems to promote diversity, it actually removes it from a society. So cultural relativism seems to support diversity, pero dahil tinuturing nito na nagka-separate lahat ng kultura, it can actually stop culture from mixing, learning, and mag-grow kasama ang isa't isa. And this can lead to less real diversity in society. Number 5, it draws people away from one another. Although cultural relativism can promote people coming together to share their strengths, it can also encourage people to draw apart from one another. So cultural relativism is nakakatulong sa paggalang at sa pag-iintindi sa mga iba't ibang traditions, helping bring people together, however, by emphasizing cultural differences and treating beliefs as untouchable. So, pwede ito magkakahiwalay imbes na magkakaisa sila. So number 6, it could limit moral progress. When we look at the idea of moral progress, we think of becoming more inclusionary instead of exclusionary. So cultural relativism can limit moral progress because it says all cultural practices is acceptable, even na hindi patas o nakakasama. Mahirap din, and dahil dito, mahirap labanan ang mga injustices and create a more equal and inclusive society. So number 7, it could limit humanity's progress. We often think of the concept of cultural relativism as progressions, but it's not necessarily that way. So cultural relativisms promote tolerance but can justify harmful traditions na humahad lang sa mga human rights, ethics, science. True progress requires balancing sa pagitan ng mga paggalang sa mga kultura at universal values tulad ng dignity and kalayaan. So number 8, cultural relativisms can turn perceptions into truths. So it is a dark night and it is warm outside. A Filipino Muslim teenager is walking down an alley wearing a hoodie and the hood is up. So cultural relativism means that what people see as true depends on their culture. So dito sa scenario na ito, some might view the teenager as just someone walking home, while others due to cultural biases might see them as suspicious. So ang magkakaibang perception na ito can feel like truth to those who hold them, even if they are not based on reality.
So, hi everyone, I'm Christine Bernardo. So let's proceed to the list of the qualities of Filipino identity. So number 1, we have the pakikipagkapwa-tao. This is the shared sense of identity and consciousness of the other. So, pakikipagkapwa-tao, it is about being kind and understanding to others or to each other. It is about showing empathy and pakikiisa. So number 2, we have the family orientation. The basic and most important unit of a Filipino's life is the family. Unlike in Western countries, young Filipinos who turned 18 are not expected to move out of their parents' home. So family is the super important in Filipino cultures. We are known close to our lola, lolo, uncle, auntie. Even when we grow up, we Filipinos are stay with our parents because it is also showing a big support system. So number 3, we have a joy and humor. This famous trait is the ability of Filipinos to find humor in everything. So Filipinos are known for being happy and finding humor in everything. Even in those times, we still try to stay positive. Number 5, we have the flexibility, adaptability, creativity. Study shows that Filipinos often have an aversion to a set of standards, rules, and procedures. They are known to follow a natural clock or organic sense of time. Doing this, it is the time they feel is right. So, Filipinos are good in adapting. If there's any problem, they find the way to solve it. So we have number 5, faith and religiosity. The Philippines is approximately 85% Christians, mostly Roman Catholic Christians, 10% of Muslim, and 5% of other religions including the Taoism, Buddhist religious belief of Chinese, and the indigenous animistic beliefs of some people in upland areas that resisted 300 years of Spanish colonial rule. So, many Filipinos are religious, mostly Catholic. So, faith give us comfort and guidance in life. It is a big part of our culture and how we see the world. So, number 6, we have the ability to survive. The Filipinos as a people who have been constantly under the rule of numerous powerful countries has over time developed a sense of resourcefulness. or the ability to survive with whatever they have. So, we face many challenges or many challenges in our history, but Filipinos are strong because they are resourceful and find ways to survive. So number 7, we have the hard work and industry. With resourcefulness comes hard work. Filipinos are also very determined and persevering in accomplishing whatever they set in their minds. So, because Filipinos are resourceful, Filipinos also very hardworking because they determine to achieve their goals no matter what obstacle they will face. Then lastly, number 8, hospitality. Foreigners who come to visit in the Philippines speak of Filipinos going out of their way to help them when lost, or the heartwarming generosity of the Filipino family hosting a visitor in their poverty-stricken home. So, sa hospitality, Filipinos are known very being welcoming and generous because Filipinos love to have guests and make them feel home even if they don't have much. It is their nature to help others. So that's all. Thank you.
Good day, I am Eliza Fitzy Fernandez from BSN 1F. Today we will tackle about the universal values and the 10 universal values proposed by Shalom Squartz. So ano nga ba ang universal values? Ang universal values ay mga halaga na may parehong kahulugan o halaga para sa lahat ng tao. O karamihan sa kanila kasama dito ang mga bagay tulad ng moralidad, aesthetic preference, kung ano ang maganda o kaakit-akit. So, mga katangian ng mga tao at mga aspeto ng lipunan. May mga sinasabing universal values na matatagpuan sa iba't ibang kultura, tulad ng mga pisikal na aspeto ng kagandahan, pero may mga bagay din tulad ng pagiging payat na iba-iba ang pagpapahalaga depende sa kultura. Ngunit may mga tao tulad ng mga moral relativists na naniniwala na hindi lahat ng moral na halaga ay universal. So ayon sa kanila, ang mga moralidad ay nagbabago depende sa kultura at hindi pare-pareho para sa lahat ng tao. So, dito naman tayo sa 10 malalawak na value domains na itinuturing universal at komprehensibo na pinupost ni Shalom Squad 2014. So, ang una is power. Ito ay tumutukoy sa social status at prestihiyo, pati na rin ang pagkakaroon ng control o dominance sa mga tao at resources. So, halimbawa ng power, a person in a high position at work who has control over decision in the company. So, parang leader siya. So, the person is respected and valued because of their position. So, pangalawa is achievement. Ito naman ay personal na tagumpay sa pagpapakita ng kakayahan ayon sa pamantayan ng lipunan. So, ang halimbawa nito, isang estudyante na nagsikap at nag-aral ng mabuti para makuha ang mataas na marka at makamit ang tagumpay sa kanyang mga klase. So, halimbawa yung nakakatanggap ka ng achievement like honor dahil ginawa mo yung hard work para makuha yon. So, dito naman tayo sa hedonism. Ito ay tinutukoy sa kasiyahan at sensuous gratification para sa sarili. Sa halimbawa ng hedonism, someone who enjoy pleasurable experience like eating their favorite food or going on vacation to relax and enjoy life. Pang-apat is stimulation, pagkakaroon ng excitement, novelty, at challenge sa buhay. Halimbawa naman nito ay isang tao na gustong mag-explore ng mga bagong lugar o sumubok ng mga bagong karanasan tulad ng pag-audition sa isang teatro o pagsubok ng extreme sports.
Sir, I have Yvonne Marie Giracruz. Tatalakayin natin ang ilang core values ayon kay Showing Quartz. So, diretso na ako sa number 5, which is ang soft direction. So, soft direction ay tumutukoy ito sa kalayaan ng isang tao na gumawa ng sariling desisyon at sundin ang kanyang interest o paniniwala. So, for example, isang artist na malaya nakakapagpinta or lumikha ng kanyang sariling sining ayon sa kanyang nais na walang takot or limitasyon. So, yun ay nagpapakita ng soft direction. Soft direction, yes, tama. So, mahalaga ito dahil ito ay nagbibigay daan sa ating self-expression at personal growth. So, let's proceed sa next, which is ang universalism. So, when we say universalism, ito ay pagpapahalaga sa pagkakapatay-patay ng katarungan at proteksyon na para sa lahat. So, for example na lang, na isang tao na nagsusulong ng karapatan ng mahihirap, nagsusulong ng karapatan ng mga kababaihan at LGBTQ+A. So, yun ay nagpapakita ng universalism. So, pinapakita nito ang pagiging bukas at makatao sa isang individual. Yung next naman is ang benevolence. So, when we say benevolence, ito ay ang kagustuhan nating tumulong na at nagpapakita ng kabutihan sa kapwa, lalo na sa mga malalapit sa atin. So, for example, isang magulang. So, nagsusumikap upang magpabuti ang buhay ng kanyang pamilya ay nagpapakita ng benevolence. So, isa ito sa pagpapahalaga sa kapakanan ng iba. So now naman, let's proceed sa number 8. So, ang number 8 naman is ang tradition. So, ito ay nagpapahalaga sa mga kaugalian at paniniwala. At paniniwalang minana natin sa ating mga ninuno. So, halimbawa na lang na pagsa-celebrate natin ng Pasko at iba pang mga reliyosong ginagawa natin na ating minana sa ating mga ninuno. So, nagpapakita ito ng paggalang sa mga kultura at pananampalataya. So, number 9 na tayo, which is ang conformity. So, ito ang pag-akma sa mga panuntunan o inaasahan ng lipunan upang mapanatili ang kaayusan. So, for example na lang ng estudyante. So, sumusunod ang estudyante sa school rules gaya ng pagsusuot ng school uniform. So, mas pinili natin sumunod mas pinili natin sumunod at umiwas sa gulo. Okay? So, lastly is ang security, which is ang number 10. So, ito ay pagpapahalaga sa kaligtasan at kaayusan sa sarili, hindi lang sa sarili, kundi sa kapwa at sa komunidad natin. So, example, kapag ang isang komunidad ay nagtutulungan para sa kapayapaan, gaya ng pagbabantay sa mga kalsada o paggawa ng mga safety measures. So, ito ay nagpapakita ng pagpapahalaga sa security. So,
my name is Rima A. Hotong. So, let's move to the development of moral character. So, moral character or character is evolutions of an individual's stable moral qualities. The concept of character can imply a variety of attributes including the existence or lack of virtues such as empathy, courage, fortitude, honesty, and loyalty, or of good behavior or habits. So, yung moral character refers to as stable traits that shape how a person behave in ethical situations, such as empathy, courage, fortitude, honesty, and loyalty. So, the word characters from the Greek word is character, referring to a mark impressed upon coins. So, there are two approaches with dealing with moral character, which is normal ethics. Yung sa normal ethics, this is set standard for right and wrong behavior. And sa applied ethics naman, deals with specific moral issues and real-life dilemmas. So, development of moral character philosopher in various ways. So, Aristotle is among the philosophers who emphasize virtuous character. He states excellence of character then is a state concerned with choice, lying in a mean relative to us, this being determined by the reasons and the way in which the man of practical wisdom will determine it. So, in summary, Aristotle's ideas emphasized that virtuous behavior is a choice and lies between extremities. So, Confucius is another prominent figure that has been related to modern development of a moral character. So, Confucius' teachings focus on kindness and developing virtuous promotions, personal growth, and ethical relationship.
Good day everyone. My name is Michelle M. Ibrahim from BSN1F first year. Now, let's talk about Lawrence Kohlberg. Lawrence Kohlberg, an American physiologist, developed a theory to explain how people progress in their moral reasoning. According to his theory, moral development occurs in 3 levels, each containing 2 stages. These levels are pre-conventional, the conventional, and the post-conventional. Each levels reflect a different approach to thinking about right and wrong, justice and ethical behavior. Now, let's move on to pre-conventional level. Pre-conventional level, in this typical age, we have the childhood up to age 9, though it can appear in older individuals. At the pre-conventional level, morality is centered around the individual's own needs. Decisions are made based on avoiding punishment or gaining rewards. For example, in the pre-conventional, we have the obedience and the punishment orientation. Right is what avoids punishment. Moral reasoning is based on fear of authority. Next, we have the self-interest orientation. Right is what meets own needs. There is some understanding that others have needs too, but they are considered mainly when it benefits the self. Now, let's move on the conventional level. At this typical age, adolescents and most adults. At the conventional level, people make moral decisions based on social norms, laws, and approval from others. They seek to be seen as good member of society. We have the interpersonal accord and conformity. Right is what please other and gain social approval. Emphasize of being nice and maintaining relationship. We have the authority and social order maintaining orientation. Right is doing one's duty, respecting laws, and maintaining social orders. Strong belief in obeying rules to keep society functioning. Now, let's move on to post-conventional level. The post-conventional level at this typical age may begin in adulthood. Yes, not reached by everyone. At the post-conventional level, morality is based on abstract principles and individuals' rights. People reasons beyond society rules and evaluate laws based on justice and universal ethics. Under the post-conventional, we have this social contract orientation. Right is based on social contract and the greatest good for the greatest number. Laws are important but should be changed if they don't people general welfare. Next, we have the universal ethical principle. Right is based on internal principle of justice and quality. Decisions are guided by conscience and may involve civil disobedience if laws are unjust. Kohlberg's theory of moral development shows how human reasoning about right and wrong evolves over time from the self-centered pre-conventional stage to the law-abiding conventional stage and finally to the principle post-conventional stage. Individuals progress by gaining a deeper understanding of morality, justice, and ethics. That's all. Thank you.